As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Well, I thought about going with Spencer Rattler, going out there for the spring game with South Carolina. Looked pretty good, pretty clean. Even got in a dig at Oklahoma by saying, or former Oklahoma staff saying that new strength and conditioning here at South Carolina, it's not even close. I've put on 10 pounds of muscle. It's so much better than where I was before. Thought that was pretty funny, but
it is funny because that staff no longer, and so like we can all laugh about it, right?
That's right.
It's fun.
That is right. But man, women's gymnastics, dude. How about that? Amazing. So they are obviously in the meet. There was Florida, Utah, and Auburn were in the final. And after the first rotation, the Sooners were in dead last. Wasn't looking good. One of the girls hit a perfect 10 for the other teams, but they started clawing their way back. And then Reagan Smith on I think it was the beam.
Correct.
No, is that what it was? Was the beam?
Her beam routine.
And nailed a 9.96 whenever they absolutely had to have it, and got the win. Really, really cool. Come from behind win. They finished second last year, barely got edged out by Michigan. So coming back to win this thing was awesome. That's so cool to see them go out and do it again.
Yeah. Did you see? I don't know I think it was real, but like KJ Kindler holding up something that said like, if you're going to pick against Oklahoma, like this is the year to do it. Did you see that on Twitter? I don't know what it was for. I was confused. I will say this. I don't know a lot about gymnastics. I'll fully admit that. I base the way I'm feeling about how a gymnast just did in their routine. I base my reaction off their reaction.
Right.
If they're super excited, then I'm like, yes. And after the first rotation for OU, I was not feeling good because the squad didn't seem overly thrilled with their performance. What was it? Floor routine? I think that's what it was. And
yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, and the rest of the way, like they were losing it. And I watched the entire thing on ABC, and I was like, they were so fired up, and I was like, Ugh! I was clapping. I didn't know what I was clapping for, but I knew they were excited, so I knew I should be excited. And when they crushed the balance beam, they were all losing their mind. I'm like really celebrating. My wife's like, did they do good? I was like, I don't know, but look how excited she is. And
yeah,
they won the national title.
Cool. Really cool. Not shocked whenever OU wins a gymnastics national title. We've come to expect that, which is scary whenever those are your expectations, but really, really cool. Proud of them. KJ Kindler is an absolute stud of a coach. She's been killing it. A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. What? Fifth title? Is that right?
Fifth title. Yep. That's right.
That's
dominant.
That'll do. That'll definitely do. Okay. This is the picture I'm talking about. It's her. It says, if there is a year when it is actually safe to predict Oklahoma not winning, this is the year. And she's like holding it up. I don't know. Is this photoshopped? It might be.
I don't know. I don't know if that is like one of those things where they just find a picture of you holding something and put something in there.
It could
I don't know.
I could be being duped. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Maybe that's someone else saying that, and she's saying, "Here's it's printed out. This is I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was all over Twitter.
It turns out it was a terrible year to pick against the Sooners.
It turns out. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Well, I guess I had to go with anyone out there that thought Alabama was going to lose some talent offensively after losing their running back, Brian Robinson, who had been there forever. The Jahmyr Gibbs kid in the spring game, 9 carries, 100 yards, had a 75-yard touchdown. And this kid is an absolute beast. Nick Saban in the post game was asked about him, and Nick Saban rarely says anything good about anyone. He's like, Does it stand out to you? Fast is fast, right? The guy getting to top speed is obvious. He gives us something at the running back position because he's really good at pressing the holes. He's got a great burst, gets to top speed quickly, sets up his blocks, like just glowing over him. Very good running back, very good receiver, great third down back. So they're loving this kid. Scary. Adding him to all of those weapons. He's a transfer from Georgia Tech, and man, I know there was a bunch of people that were hoping they had a shot at him. I was hoping that Oklahoma had a shot at possibly getting him in, but that dude's going to be a stud for Bama.
And I watched pretty much all of that spring game. Did you see who caught the first pass from Bryce Young?
No.
Jermaine Burton was the wide receiver at Georgia. Massive, fast.
Yeah.
Caught the, like, it was like a 22-yard pass on like the first play. And afterwards, guess who Nick Saban said is their most consistent receiver throughout the spring?
I'm guessing the gigantic kid from Georgia.
Yeah, Jermaine Burton. He's like, yeah, he's been the most consistent guy in that room. It's
yeah,
just like, oh.
Because he was pissed at the rest of his wide receivers at the national championship game. Remember all the talk? Oh, everyone wants to play, right? Everyone wants to prepare, and here they have an opportunity to go in the big game, and we get nothing out of them. So this kind of summed it all up right there. But another scary thing about it, Bryce Young did not have a very good day. 14 to 29, 153 yards with an interception. I guess he did some other really good things, but from our experience around here, the worse you play in the spring game, the better season you have.
Yeah. Their offensive line it's going to be interesting, right?
They lost some dudes.
And now I know they added the Steen kid from Vanderbilt. We'll see if he ends up being a starter for them. I would assume he was a starter at Vanderbilt, so you leave there to go to Bama. I don't know. It'd be silly if you didn't end up starting because you're playing in the SEC either way. And if you're playing at a high level, they'll find you. But I don't know. That's the big question mark for that team for me is what they look like up front offensively. But yeah, who knows?
I didn't watch much of it, but I just saw some of the highlights. I've read some of Saban's comments, and he mentioned the offensive line and their front seven and how far ahead they are than the offensive line. I guess they had a ton of sacks in the game.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of like just a pocket collapsing on Bryce Young and them just blowing it dead. And Will Anderson abused both tackles. I felt like Ted, it was like if there wasn't a ref there to blow it dead, Will Anderson would have killed Bryce Young.
Well, that's not shocking. I mean,
he's the best player in college football.
Yeah, he had the argument of being that last year, which, is crazy, and he's going to be back. So he may, is there a chance that where would he be on the Heisman list? Has anyone put him on there? Because there was people talking about him last year that he should have been more in the running. So I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, scrolling, he's got it.
Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School has a long tradition of educational excellence with a 12-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. No student is overlooked. Bishop McGinnis's college prep curriculum offers 22 AP courses. There are numerous clubs and organizations for students to join, and as a proud member of the OSSAA, there are 14 sports offered. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
And if you're a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. Remember, back in 2012, Balcones single malt won the best in glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan, and became the first American distillery to win that competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but yes, the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Jordan Spieth. Won the RBC Heritage in a playoff against Patrick Cantlay. Just a luscious bunker shot from Spieth, a tap in, par to win it.
What's Cantlay doing? Cantlay's got a 9-iron, wide open green. Spieth's already put it in the bunker, a 9-iron in, and he does the same thing, has a fried egg in the bunker. Come on, man. Lowry collapses on the back, chips into the water whenever he's got the lead.
That was shocking when he did that.
Shocking.
Through the green into the water.
I'll say this, it made for great entertainment for Sunday afternoon.
You want to hear something that I don't think you're going to love?
Mm-hmm.
Spieth has now won back-to-back tournaments on Easter Sunday. Do you want to venture and take a guess what tournament will be concluding on Easter Sunday in 2023?
Masters?
The Masters.
I'm not worried about that.
I can't wait to watch you have to watch Spieth win the Masters. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great.
Yeah. How do you do it again this year? Missed cut.
I'm just saying, there's a pattern. I also thought about going with Tyrese Maxey from the 76ers. Oh my gosh.
That dude was red hot.
And he was like moving at a different speed than the rest of the guys in the game.
It was crazy. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, a 38 piece for Maxey in Philly's game 1 win against the Raptors. And I'll say this. I thought that was going to be a fun series. And Scotty Barnes going down, that looks bad. I mean, Embiid just stomped his ankle. I don't know. I just don't. Without Barnes healthy, he's been an awesome and arguably the rookie of the year. Like, without Scotty Barnes, I'm not sure that's going to be much of a series between those two teams. Philadelphia, I'll give them credit. Philadelphia looked good, man.
They looked real good. They did. They looked really, really good. But it does help whenever one of your role players goes off for 38 and hits absolutely everything that he throws up. What was he, like 8 of 10 from 3 or something crazy like that?
He was awesome. It was fun to watch, though. But my winner of the weekend, yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder, baby. God bless you, New Orleans Pelicans. I love you guys. Brandon Ingram, you're the man. Hell yes. Pelicans, they were down 13 points in the fourth quarter on the road. Didn't matter. Came back and beat the LA Clippers in the play-in game. And just give me all of the shots of Steve Ballmer being pissed off. I want to see them all, camera guy. Keep showing Ballmer. But it was a big deal for the Thunder. And here's why. So the Thunder owned the Clippers 2021 or 2022 first round pick. And the Clippers losing that game makes their first round pick in this upcoming draft. It was slotted. It will be slotted to be the 12th pick. Now, that's the 12th pick instead of being the 15th pick. The top 14 picks in the NBA draft are part of the NBA draft lottery. So theoretically, if the ping pong balls bounce correctly, that 12th pick could be even higher. Now there's like a 1 point something chance it actually ends up as the first pick. That's probably not gonna happen. But if it ends up being the 10th pick, it's a big deal. Like it already moving up to 3 spots from 15 to 12, like that's already a big deal. But the fact that it could end up being, 9 or 10 or even 11, whatever, like that's a huge deal for the Thunder because it feels like this draft is huge for them. So you combine the Clippers pick that is now slotted to be 12th. We'll see how the lottery goes. And you combine that with the Thunder's pick that's slotted to be the 4th pick. We'll see where that one ends up as well. They also have the Suns' first round pick. So they've got 3 first round picks. And I think they have the 34th pick, so like an early second rounder as well. But this is the break we needed, baby. This is the journey to the 2025 NBA title starts with that Clippers loss. Ted, we needed it, baby. We needed it.
Some good assets there. Do you think, not to go on a draft tangent, but you think they make those picks or they package some of that stuff to do something with it?
I feel like I've learned enough to not even try to even venture a guess what Sam Presti's going to do. It's not even, I know a lot of people do that for a living. Yeah. And I look at the mock drafts and I look at all that stuff and I've got my sources and all that.
There's
but
way too many moving parts in an NBA draft.
Presti's not telling anyone anything.
Yep.
I mean, but it's still exciting. It was so fun watching the Clippers lose. Oh my gosh, I was thrilled.
I'm down. I love it. In the lottery is a good thing. 2 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. For my loser of the weekend, thought about going with whoever was in charge of the audio for the Timberwolves Grizzlies broadcast on Saturday. Did you see that?
I watched most of the game, but for whatever reason, we didn't have it turned up. We were just it was just kind of on in the background.
Well, lucky you, because that noise that ESPN broadcasted was like excruciating. And then you heard him because they lost the audio, and then you heard him doing the countdown. The play-by-play guy was like 10, 9, 8. It was so funny. I felt so bad, but I guess the only thing weirder that happened in that game was the lady that chained herself to the basket.
Is that what happened whenever they thought they dropped the confetti early?
No, listen, all I saw, the lady chained herself to the basket. And I think the chain had to be plastic because it looked like they ended up breaking it with a broom. But you had glue lady, and now you've got chain yourself to the basket lady. I mean, what the hell is going on with these fans?
I think they should have just left her there. Just left her chained to the basket.
Dude, she was literally chilling right underneath the basket for a while before anyone even noticed.
It's like, you want to be chained to the stanchion? You can stay chained to the stanchion and just let that be the punishment. Just leave her there.
Oh, you're staying. That would have been good. But my loser of the weekend, I can't believe. OU softball. We got to do it.
I know.
I feel like you when you kept doing OU basketball over and over again during basketball season. But hey,
I don't think you'll have to do this over and over again.
Excellence is the expectation, right? It is the expectation. And OU softball went to Austin. Now they won the series. They did. But they suffered their first loss of the season, moving them to 38-1 in the series finale on Saturday. Lost 4-2. It snapped a 40-game winning streak for the program. It gave Texas their first win over OU since 2014. The Sooners had beaten them 23 times in a row. Now, was it a little goofy how hard Texas celebrated? Yes. Did they act like they won the national championship? Yes. But, and I hate to say this, they should celebrate the way that they celebrated. They hadn't beat him since 2014. They'd lost to him 23 times in a row. Yeah, go crazy.
Don't act like you've been there, because we know you haven't been there.
No one on that team had been there. You can't be act like you've been there. Celebrate with class. It's no, we're going nuts. We just beat a team that, kind of had the aura of invincibility, which now I do want to give, what is her name? Haley Dolcini, whatever it was, the pitcher from Texas. Hey, she threw a gem, man. She was great in the circle for the Longhorns. She was great. Credit to her. Jordy Ball, that Texas showed she could be human, right? But it's also possible that OU, while they're the loser, they're also the winner, because I don't love that the loss came against Texas. I don't. In fact, I hate it. But there has to be a little bit of Patty Gasso that is like feeling a little relief, a little anger, and the team no longer has the pressure of trying to put together an undefeated season, which you can take a breath without having that pressure on the team. It also allows Patty Gasso to get after them even more than she already does in practice. Losing has a way of refocusing a team, and I think that is exactly what this will do. And it just sucks that it happened against Texas. Why?
Yeah.
Any other team, man?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Undefeated would be amazing. There's no doubt about that. I was eyeing that, was a 52, 54 game winning streak that was out there. To chase that down would have been awesome. But I do think for the long haul that something like this sometimes is healthy. You won the series, you didn't lose the series, you dropped a game, and it's exactly right, because it sounds like Coach Gasso's been on this team pretty hard anyways, and this is an opportunity for her to say, I told you so, right? You're not as good as you think, even though maybe they are. I don't know the dynamics that are going on there, but this will definitely be fuel for Coach, and there's no doubt that pressure is there on an undefeated season. Whenever you've got a 40-game winning streak going, there's no doubt that maybe people aren't talking about it, and you're just kind of going out and doing your thing, but it's there, right? And it's kind of hovering over everyone. So I think it probably is a little bit of a relief for them, even if they don't admit it or really even know it. But I think there's going to be a new hunger when they take the field, which is good.
Yeah, no doubt. And listen, the expectations for this team are ridiculous, right? They're unrealistic. It's like, they won that first game, and I saw people being like, man, it almost felt like they lost because they didn't run rule Texas. Like, if they don't run rule a team, it almost feels like they lose. And that's where they're at as a program. So when they actually do lose a game, yeah, the other team's going to go nuts. It's like when a team beats Bama in football.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
You don't see it very often. So yeah, that was painful to watch. But knowing that it's best for them in the long run. That's what I'm holding on to here.
That's
Ted.
right. That's right. In the end, it doesn't matter. Bring home the championship.
Absolutely.